All right, let's get to it. I told you he would join us, and he's with us now. 16 years, calling the signals. 3 teams, Skins, Buffalo, the Rams, championship as well. And he's my Tops teammate every Sunday on CBS Sports Network, Mr. Fletcher, London Fletcher. What's happening, big boy? How are you?
I'm good, BT. How you doing, man? Tiki?
All's good, my friend.
We're good. Hey, 2 of your 3 teams look pretty good. And you were not surprised. You liked the Rams this year and you liked the Bills this year. Which was more impressive, what the Bills did or what St. Louis did against Seattle?
You know, I'll say probably the way what the Bills did. I mean, you know, we knew it would be a tough fight for Indianapolis and Andrew Luck going in there. But the way Tyrod Taylor played, man, I don't think anybody really expected him to play as well as he did. You know, they really dominated that game, man, and you know, made Andrew Luck and that Colts offense, very ineffective.
Well, we knew that Andrew Luck, when he gets pressure on him, he struggles a little bit, just as any quarterback who gets pressure on him struggles. But what Rex Ryan has always done, with every stop that he's been at, is he finds ways to creatively blitz you and catch you off guard, and that's what they did. Is this a methodology that they can win with next week? Because think about who the Bills play next week in the New England Patriots. Can they continue to play this way defensively and limit the exposure to Tyrod Taylor offensively and still win?
I think so. From just on the defensive side of the ball, when you look at the Bills' defensive unit, you know, we all know about their front, but the cornerbacks and the secondary that they have, the kid Darby played excellent football yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, he was a rookie making a debut, had an interception, has a couple of pass breakups. Stephon Gilmore was outstanding. You know, they got a Williams kid. They got some players in that secondary that will allow Rex to play the type of defense that he wants to play. You know, bring some blitzes, you know, challenge the corner to play man-to-man, things like that. So I think they can, you know, they match up well from a defensive standpoint. Offensively, obviously, you know, Bill Belichick, he'll have, you know, a little bit more time to prepare for Tyrod Taylor. They have film and footage of him to know what type of player he is. But, you know, I expect him to have some different wrinkles for the Patriots this next Sunday.
We're talking to London Fletcher, 16 years NFL analyst, and a good one. We'll get to your take on Marshall, and I was sitting next to you for that. It was riveting. It was polarizing. Want to have you reset that for our audience. But I wanted to ask you about this, and complete real talk. No, try to couch it because he's a legend. Take us back to, you're sitting in a defensive meeting room, all right? And you're watching film of Peyton Manning's arm right now, and you're getting ready to play him in 5 or 6 days. What are you saying amongst yourselves?
Well, BT, since I knew you were going to talk to me about Peyton Manning today, just knowing based on what you said yesterday about Peyton, I looked at the film of the Broncos and the Ravens yesterday. First of all, I'm not that discouraged by Peyton in his arm. If he threw, you know, underthrew some guys, I'd be more discouraged. He overthrew a couple receivers that he had open up. There was one bootleg play that where he's rolling back to his left, throwing against his body was a bad pass. I mean, that's hard for him to make, you know, 39 years old, but that's tough for a 29-year-old quarterback to make. You know, obviously, I think the APs also, the Ravens, their defensive game plan was outstanding. They came with a bunch of delayed or fire zone type blitzes, really executed the game plan well, you know. So from that standpoint, I wouldn't be too discouraged about Peyton Manning. I think if you go in there with the mindset thinking that, oh, he doesn't have it anymore, and you can just go out and blitz him and think you're gonna stop the Denver Broncos moving forward and assume that Peyton Manning is done, I think that would you be.
Wait, hang on a sec, Fletcher, hold on a sec. So you're telling us, right now? Keep in mind, and I know you know this. It's week 1. If he's ever going to look fresh and spry, it's now. The O-line is not good. It's young. He's going to get popped all season. What's he going to look like in week 9?
Yeah, and they didn't run the ball well.
Come on.
But let's give Baltimore some credit here. Let's give that defensive unit some credit. And you think about it, Dean Pease has had success against Peyton Manning in the past. This is the same unit, the same defensive coordinator that went into Denver and beat them in the AFC Championship game or the playoff game.
Yeah, divisional round.
The year the Ravens won the playoffs. Won the Super Bowl. So don't overreact. You mentioned some things. The offensive line, they didn't protect as well. they're still working through some things. I'm not going to overreact on the Denver Broncos. I still feel like they'll represent the AFC in the Super Bowl when it's all said and done.
He's hanging with the old G. There he is, giving his boy love. All right, I disagree, but all right. London Fletcher with us here on CBS Sports Radio.
London, you were a defensive. You weren't a knucklehead. Let's put it that way. There's a couple of defensive knucklehead things that we saw. One, we kind of expect, and Ndamukong Suh kind of stepping over, kicking off Alfred Morris's helmet. But then Adam Jones, who's basically straddling Amari Cooper and smashing his head into his helmet, which he had ripped off. What discipline should the league put on a guy like that? Both of them, really.
With Jones, I think he may get a fine. I don't think it'll warrant a suspension. And being all honest with you, I've done stuff like that. Hey, man, things happen. You have a play happen that you don't like and tempers flare a little bit. With Suh, because of his reputation, the league will look very closely at him, and he typically probably won't get the benefit of the doubt. Would it warrant, he kicked the guy in the head? I mean, was it incidental or not? Suh's reputation kind of precedes him, so he won't necessarily get the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, so he may get a little bit tougher punishment. The interesting question out of that game, though, is that the Dolphins were outplayed by the Washington Redskins. They ended up winning thanks to Jarvis Landry's punt return. But should we think better about the Redskins than we did when the season started or before the season started?
Looking at the game, they did a great job. I think they ran the ball extremely well.
Mm-hmm.
That was the thing that felt like they had to do to give themselves a chance. And Alfred Morris ran tough, physical. The offensive line run block well. They pass protected well too. Kirk was only sacked one time, I think.
Yep.
They made some plays. He obviously had a couple interceptions. One was just a great play by the defensive back, the Kane kid.
Yeah, at the end of the game.
The other one, obviously ill-advised. But, I still think the Redskins, they'll probably be a 6 or 7 win team. I don't, see that they'll challenge for the NFC.
Oh, high aspirations this year, huh? High aspirations, 7 wins, shooting for the stars.
I said 6 or 7. Is that high? I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe they can stretch out 8 and 8. That would be a successful year for them.
That would be a shocking year for us.
But their defense was outstanding.
Yeah, defense was pretty good.
Yeah, that defense. They played really good football. Had some tough stops. Kept their offense in the game. I think they had maybe 3 sacks. Really played really good football.
So Fletch, let's get to this. You said something on TV yesterday on Tops, 9 to 1 Eastern, CBS Sports Network. Check us out. We have a lot of fun. I'm sitting right next to you when you did it, and I was captivated. Now, some people will love what you said. Some people will hate it. But everybody's going to react. And I know it's hard to recapture everything that you said, but your message about Marshall and what he said on Showtime pertaining to race, can you revisit that for our audience? I thought it was one of the most amazing things I've heard in a long time.
Yeah, just going back to the comment that Marshall made on Inside the NFL, where he was saying, how players perceive that, some current players perceive that Tom Brady got off or his suspension was overturned because he was white. And I think that was irresponsible of Brandon, whether it was his opinion or other people's opinion, to make that statement, because at no point in time do I think race played a part in Brady's decision. And then you got to go back and look, okay, well, Greg Hardy's suspension, Ray Rice's suspension was overturned, Adrian Peterson's suspension was overturned. There's been plenty of cases where African-American players' case gets overturned, in the judicial system as it relates to punishment. But we as oftentimes African-Americans and we tend to always blame race when something doesn't go our way. Well, the injustices or something, whether it's economically or something that doesn't go our way, the first thing we want to do is use the race card, and that's irresponsible. Sometimes the person may be better qualified, or the system says that this is the way it should go. Mm-hmm. So I just thought it was irresponsible for him to make that statement.
What's interesting to me, and obviously, Tiki and I have a dynamic on our show that not everybody does, and we have black and white. I mean, it's great. It really provides depth for these issues, and So we talk about this very freely because it's an important issue. And listen, we can't change our country's history. We know that. We know that. I wonder, though, why, and not to paint with a broad brush, but I think Marshall encapsulates this. Why are a lot of young African-American athletes, to me, and I could be wrong, but still latching on to an antiquated notion? I feel like black athletes today have it pretty good.
I think because it's a convenient excuse. It's also lazy, a lazy excuse too. It doesn't force you to really think about the situation, or really look inside and say, okay, well, what role did I play in this? Or is this really a microcosm of society, or is this just a unique situation? And I think obviously with stuff that's going on in our culture today, with different whether it's police brutality and stuff like that, social media is more prevalent now. You have videos of things that take place. So where there may be a couple incidents that are few and far in between, it just it gives they make headlines a lot more, and they reach a far greater they have a far greater reach.
Well, that's why you played plus you were good, but that's one of the reasons why you played 16 years in the NFL. That's one of the reasons why you've been positioned as one of the great leaders for teams in the last couple of decades, because you see both sides. You're a straight shooter. Love working with you on Sunday. Great spot. And we'll talk to you soon, man. I appreciate it, Fletch. Good work.
All right, man. I can't wait to see. Now, I will say this. Going back to Peyton Manning, they got a tough game Thursday night, man, against the Kansas City Chiefs, and a short week to get ready. And I'm sure the Chiefs will be dialing up those blitzes that the Ravens has, and the Chiefs defense is probably as good, or if not better, than the Ravens.
Yeah, they're going to be 0-2. Denver's going to be. I picked the Chiefs to win. Watch, man. You watch.
They got to run the ball. Like you said, Tiki, they got to run the football.
They got to. The unseating is happening. We're seeing it right now. Thank you. Thank you,
All right,
London.
guys.
Great job,
Thanks.
Fletch.